God damn it, Prime 4 download already. Anyway, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Metroid Prime 2. The last time we met in Metroid Prime 2, we delivered the light energy back to the Sanctuary Fortress, and we're just continuing on with that. And as you can guess from that opening there, yes, Metroid Prime 4 has finally released at the time of recording about 10 minutes ago. And while I'm waiting for mine to download right now, but I'm I'm ready. I've been waiting for this. So yes, that's actually why I'm recording this right now, is because the second I finish recording this and upload it, I am delving straight into Prime 4 for the next, I don't fucking know, probably all day, knowing me. But I am currently staring at the download progress on my TV because I want to play it on the big TV. Again, I've waited 8 fucking years for this game, so I don't know anything about it just yet. So spoilers are, and by the way, I will not talk about Prime 4 in the upcoming parts. Don't worry, I will keep my mouth shut as best as I can. You know, especially for spoiler reasons, because especially story and gameplay spoiler, I won't say a goddamn thing because I want, you know, if you've never played Metroid Prime games, first off, I highly recommend you do, especially if you have access to the Trilogy Edition or, you know, Nintendo's bad word. I'm not going to, the E word that Nintendo doesn't like. You know, I highly recommend all of them, even two, despite, you know, my rough relationship with it. But, I guess I should probably talk about what we're doing in this part. I believe in this part I'm just exploring the Agon Wastes again because we're here for a few items that I probably should have just gotten when I went to go do the hunt for the Sky Temple keys, but I'm not smart, so... Or maybe, you know, this is just the optimal route. I don't know. But, yeah, that's really all there is to it. I will say, since I'm doing my other setup for recording post-commentary LPs right now, where I'm using the recorder in DaVinci, and I'm looking at how many parts we have left. We have 3 parts left after this one. We have the next part, which is, I think, me actually reporting to you, Moss, in that part, and then my cleanup part, and then the finale. But, yeah. Not really much else to say. I mean, I keep staring at the progress bar. It's going up a little bit every time, and I'm getting excited every time I look at it because, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you will ever understand the pain that I've been going. I mean, if you're another Metroid fan, you would understand, but for 8 fucking years, I have been waiting for this. I've been waiting for Prime 4, and it's just one of those things where it's like, I know I make so many jokes about Grand Theft Auto fans, you know, being all like, oh, can't wait for GTA 6 and never shutting up about it. But the thing is that for Prime 4 specifically, I just never really anticipated it taking so fucking long. And, you know, as someone who deals with Metroid droughts all the fucking time, you know, it's hard. It's hard to be a Metroid fan because you're waiting for so long for other games to happen. I mean, I remember losing my absolute shit when Dread was announced and had a released year window within the same couple years. When Prime 4 got announced, all we had was just an announcement. We didn't have a release window. And then when we found out that it was getting, it restarted development, meaning that they had to scrap everything they had, you know, that it hurt. You know, at least with GTA, you guys weren't getting shit in terms of updates. You guys weren't getting shit, and you guys should be appreciative of that. You know what, though? I was expecting some delays with Prime 4. I'm being real here. If I'm being real, I was expecting at least 1 or 2 delays to happen with Prime 4. I don't know what kind of delays they would have been, but I was expecting some. And shockingly, I didn't see any. I mean, I know they didn't ever really give a release date until, Jesus Christ, how many times am I going to get caught by this Metroid? Let's powerbomb his ass. There you go. That's what I used to do in Prime 1, especially with Fission Metroids. I didn't even get the one that I was aiming for. But, you know, with GTA, and also the other thing about GTA to me is it's just one of those games that you guys have been playing GTA 5 for so long. And you know they kept updating GTA 5 for so long. If you can correct me all you want. I don't know. You know, I've heard that they've been updating GTA. Oh, is that? Oh yeah, we're getting the Sonic Boom. Yeah. That's why we came here. Yeah, we're getting the final beam expansion, beam combo expansion, the Sonic Boom. It's useless because it doesn't really do anything. In fact, also remember, it uses light and dark ammo, and missiles. You see the problem there? You're using 3 different ammo types for one attack. It's probably one of the more powerful attacks, granted, but I don't give a shit. I'm not using all that, you know, just for one attack that might miss in the first place, knowing my luck. But that's just me. Ugh, God, it pains me to look at that fucking progress bar right now, but I have no choice. I want to keep looking at it. But like with GTA, you guys get constant updates for patches and shit like that. You know, new content comes in waves and stuff like that. And plus you have the replayability of doing whatever the fuck you want. And Metroid, we don't really got that. We don't have that replayability. I mean, yeah, we can do certain things like speedrunning and stuff like that if we wanted to, but not everyone wants to do that. So getting a new game, especially, you know, a game in probably one of the best series of Metroid games ever, was, you know, because, you know, the Prime series, you might want to get out of the phase on, dipshit. Oh, I think there's something here, but there's not. That glass is just broken. There's nothing there. I don't... There's nothing there. Stop going into it. Okay, so the guide's tripping me up because he's saying something is in here. But with Metroid, you know, you can do all the speedrunning stuff and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, I've been waiting, you know, hearing that there is a Prime game on the fucking way is awesome to me. You know, it was like one of those things where it was like, because I love the Prime series. I love Prime 1. You know, I don't particularly hate Prime 2, but I don't love it either. It's one of those, you know, I like certain aspects of Prime 2, but I don't like a lot of aspects of Prime 2, if any of that makes sense. You know, I've always been so negative during this Let's Play. I'm pretty sure all of you have pointed that out. All of you could point that out, that I do not, that, you know, I always bitch and moan about how much I don't like certain things about this game. But there are some positives that I have mentioned, and I will admit that, you know, I will admit when Prime 2 has positives. Stop trying to go into sleep mode, Switch 2. I see you. I am watching that motherfucker like a hawk. What was I saying? But, like, in Prime 3, I love Prime 3. Not as much as Prime 1, and, you know, it's like second place to me. So, you know, the Prime series has always been consistently good, and I know I'm not acknowledging Prime Hunters or Prime Federation Force. I don't really count those, because, for one, I never played them. I never played Prime Hunters. I've never played, Federation Force, or, Pinball doesn't count either way. Oh, we're also finally solving this puzzle. I think. Doing something. I don't know. And I'm pretty sure the other reason I don't like Prime 2 as much as Prime 1 is probably because I just haven't played it enough like I did Prime 1. Because Prime 1, I know like the back of my fucking hand. You know, I know where everything is in Prime 1, despite my anxiety attacks when I don't remember if I got 100% or not. You know, I have lived and breathed Prime 1. You know, when Prime Remastered came out, I beat that shit in like 4 hours. Not consecutively, mind you, because I took breaks for different reasons, but I beat that shit in hours. Like, that's just how it is for me. And, you know, I can beat Prime in matter of hours, while Prime 2 might take me a lot longer. It'll probably take me closer to... I think this playthrough took me close to 20 hours. And I'm not taking into consideration the time that shows up in the finale, because that's a different save file. I'll get into that later. I mean, I've already mentioned that I actually cheated for the final boss fight of the game, of the finale for Prime 2. I've already mentioned that because of different reasons, and you know, this dumbass who's playing right now doesn't realize that the game's scratched and that it's gonna mess up during the final battle, and he's gonna lose his shit afterwards. But But again, you know, with Prime 2 in particular, I always say that it's not my favorite of the Prime series. Hell, not in the Metroid series at all. But that's just because. But I still admit there's positives. Because when I say that a Metroid game isn't as good, that doesn't mean I think it's terrible. That is not what I'm saying about the Metroid. What the fuck? Oh, am I paranoid that I didn't save? Knowing me, I probably am. Or I'm just replenishing my energy for some reason. Okay. Or I might have just done that by accident and just didn't... Oh, whatever. What was I saying? When I say that there's a Metroid game that just isn't as good as the other other Metroid games, I'm not saying that that game is bad. Like, if I say Metroid 2 isn't as good as Super Metroid or Zero Mission, I'm not saying 2 is terrible. You know, for the time, it was revolutionary and shit. Same with Metroid 1. But, you know, it has so many archaic... You know, both of those games have so many archaic design choices that it just makes it harder to play, especially if you're someone who's more used to the more recent games. Prime 2, the only thing, you know, there are a lot of positives I have with it. You know, like, even down to the beams themselves. Like, yeah, I bitch and moan about the beams having ammo, but I also like the fact that they do something a little different with the beams instead of the standard, like, plasma, wave, and ice beam. They do something different, and I like that. That's really cool. I just really wish they didn't limit how much I use it because of ammo. That seems so pointless to me. Alright, there is a reason I'm reactivating this, is because originally I ignored this puzzle. Turn off the scan visor and whatever. Incoming Luminoth transmission. New mission data available. Man, have we seen the hint system, like, actually kick in? Return to the Light Temple. Yeah, that's you, Moss. Oh, fuck, I remember this. Oh, fuck, I remember this shit. I think I overcomplicated the shit out of this. So, I think I could have used... I got rid of that because it was annoying me and I wanted to go away. Yeah, it's telling me to go back. Oh, boy. I remember this jump. So, I overcomplicated the shit out of this, I think, because I feel like there's like a screw attack. Not a screw attack, a spider ball track on the top of that I could have just boosted off of. For some reason, I am insisting that I use the screw attack to jump the gap. And, you know, the risk with the screw attack... Stop trying that! The risk with the screw attack is that you'll end up hitting a wall and missing. That was just me. I think, though, this was another point in the game that I was getting pissed off for no reason. In all honesty, I could have made the jump a lot easier if that fucking pipe wasn't in the way. If that pipe right there wasn't in my way, I probably would have just been able to make the jump. Because I have to compensate for the pipe, and I'm not doing that. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm overcomplicating the shit out of this. I don't know if I'm trying to speedrunning strat or what I'm doing. Yeah, because I keep... Yeah, that was a shot of frustration. Yeah, because there's the spider ball track. I see it. I see it now. Ah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think that's the point when I'm losing my shit. I can tell. I'm overcomplicating this, like, to hell and back. I can tell. Because I see the spider ball track right in front of me. I don't think my past self realizes it, but I made it anyway. What's funny is I'm pretty sure the guide didn't say anything about the spider ball track, so that's probably more on them because I was reading it. And all of that was for a missile expansion. Ugh. Yeah, because you can see the spider ball tracks that I have to use to get across there. I chose not to do that for some reason. And, I mean, clearly it is possible to reach it with the screw attack, as I demonstrated. But it's like one of those things where it's like, I'm taking 3 lefts to go right here. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, I think that's me looking at the spider ball tracks and going, what the fuck? Like, I think that's genuinely me probably taking a minute to realize that there were spider ball tracks there. But again, I think I want to blame the guide a little bit on that one, because I think he said to screw attack on that. I can pull it up, actually. Time 2, that's what I need. Let's see here. Yep, because I still have it pulled up. Well, not pull. I didn't have it pulled up, but I had it. I don't need the image. I genuinely don't care about Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I already have it. Sanctuary Fortress. Yep, right here. You'll see a green blast door at the top of the room using the same method as earlier. Make stairs out of platforms and proceed through the door. But the picture that's showing is with the is of them using the screw attack. So that implies to me, oh, I have to use the screw attack there. It didn't say anything about the spider ball, like, at all. So that's a little annoying, but I can tell you now that this is actually the point that we're heading back to UMOS, so yay, but we're also going to be stopping on our way to get an energy tank. That might also be a pain in the ass, I can't remember. But yeah. By the way, I do want to mention, I'm going to make this known now. I plan on not... I will still upload Prime video... I will still upload next week, despite me probably marathoning Prime 4 all weekend. I will not dodge my responsibilities to play Prime 4. That includes going to work. I'm not that kind of person. I do not call in to work for video games. Though I do work with someone who does, but I will not say anything else about that. I do not feel like getting into that rant today. I already got into one rant about him, so I'm good. By the way, there's an item there that I can get now, because you need the power bombs. But for some reason... Or am I going for it? Nope, okay. Okay. Well, I can tell you I get it either way because of the fact that we're going to be coming back here for the Sky Temple keys. And you may be asking yourself, can you go out? I think I mentioned this already. Can I go after the Sky Temple keys despite the fact that I haven't talked to UMOS yet? And the answer is yes, you can, because I have gotten Sky Temple keys before going back to UMOS, because once we go back to UMOS, he's going to just tell us to go, okay, you may have got the other ones, but fuck off, you still got to go do one more. And it's in the Sky Temple. And for some reason, instead of the normal 3 keys in like the Temple Grounds or something, there's 12 keys spread out through all of Aether that you have to get. I guess I'm not getting it now. Okay. So why'd I go over there? I just wanted to shoot some birds. If you want to shoot birds, go play Duck Hunt. Alright. What was I saying, though, about... But I know you can do it, because you really need the Dark Visor so you can see the enemy that holds the key, and then you can go and, you know, just fucking grab it. So, why wasn't I getting the Sky Temple keys on my way? I mean, either way, it would have been a bunch of editing for me anyway, so it didn't matter what I did. I was just following the guide, okay? I was just following orders. Good soldiers follow orders. Oh, boy. Oh, by the way, I know I'm really bad at communicating this stuff because I've just been genuinely terrible at milestone and celebrations, but I realized this happened weeks ago, I think. I reached 150, and as of today, I reached 155, as at least the time it's recording. It probably might go back down, I don't know. And I've been meaning to say something, I just keep forgetting to because I'm a fucking moron. And, you know, I gotta have someone call me out on that shit. You know, if I reach 200 and I forget to say something like thank you, I'm gonna forget for like weeks, because sometimes I just straight up forget. You know, I think about saying something on a post or something like that, And then, you know, when I do, I just genuinely forget to, because, you know, the second I think about it, I get distracted by something else. And, you know, that's just kind of how my mind works sometimes is, you know, if I have something pop up for me, I'm going to get distracted by if I'm thinking about doing something and then something else pops up that's more urgent, I'm going to forget about the other thing. And no offense to, you know, you guys for, the 150, you know, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm pretty bad at that. You know, as I've mentioned numerous, and I mean numerous times, this is purely a hobby. This isn't like, I don't plan on making this my job or anything like that. If I were to make it give it any sort of monetary value, it would be like very small amount. Like I probably wouldn't quit a full-time job over it. I wouldn't do that, but yeah, so this is actually, I think, one of the last, so this is actually a pretty simple puzzle. What we have to do is we have to shoot the satellites that are making noise to move these glass panes up to shine light onto that. And you do need the screw attack in order to even get, to jump the gap that it's at. Jesus Christ, how many times am I gonna fucking miss? Jesus. Something, I think you can actually hit the things early without the echo visor. You could probably do that for a lot of the stuff here for speedrunning. But I've never tried that, so. Like, if you know where the noise is coming, if you memorized, oh, I got it on my first try, fuck yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, but that's for an energy tank, so that's nice. What was I saying? I feel like you can do that if you've memorized where all of the sound sources are. But again, don't quote me on that. I genuinely don't know. Man, it's been a while since we've used this door, huh? Except for... Yeah, it has been, hasn't it? Anyway. All right. I think you could also tell I'm annoyed with the game because of the fact that I'm not in the fucking... No. No, you are not auto-sleeping. It's halfway there. It is halfway there. It's there. It's getting there. How much longer is this going to take? 30 minutes? Okay, I will accept that. That gives me enough time to edit and get the preview ready and the thumbnail, even though there's probably not a good thumbnail in this part, in a lot of honesty. That's the thing about the hard part about Metroid Prime specifically, is that there's not a lot of cutscenes, so there's not really good thumbnail material. You know, because as you guys have probably noticed in my thumbnails, I try to keep gameplay out of it as best I can. Like, especially like HUD elements and stuff like that. You know, sometimes I break the rule. Like today's Persona 3 Reload part, I broke the rule because I really like the pose Elizabeth does for her intro to the fight, and I wanted to show that. But, you know, it was kind of hard to get the HUD out of it. But I've sometimes broken the rule on a few occasions. But I try to avoid showing gameplay elements. Why? I don't know. I just do. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's stuff that doesn't need to be on there, but that's just how I am. But that's actually going to do it for this part of Metroid Prime 2. The next time we meet in Metroid Prime 2, we're actually going to be going straight back to Umos and reporting that we finished up in the Sanctuary Fortress, but he's just going to proceed to tell us to fuck off, go get the Sky Temple keys, and then we'll go start to hunt for the Sky Temple keys, I believe. But we'll see. So see you guys next time, and take care. But if you'll need me, I'm going to be playing Metroid Prime 4, and everyone else who's playing Prime 4, I hope you guys enjoy it with me.